Hello kiddos. Okay, what are we studying today? Decimals. Yeah, that's right. What are decimals? You guys know what fraction is, right? We studied fractions. So let's just take an example of a fraction. You can take 5.5 by 10. Okay, so how can you write 5 by 10? Okay, just tell me, what is 5 by 10? It is a fraction. That's right. So when you want to convert 5 by 10 in the form of decimal, if you want to convert 5 by 10 into decimal, how do you write this? It is 0.5. Okay, I'll tell you why is it 0.5. First, you need to concentrate on your fraction, which is 5 by 10. What is the numerator we have here? 5, right? And this is a whole number, right? It is a whole number because it doesn't have any decimals. If you write 5 in terms of 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, 5.4 and so on with decimals, these 5s are the whole numbers, right? These 5s are the whole numbers, right? And after decimal, the numbers what you see, these are the decimal numbers. Okay, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. These are the decimal numbers. Now, so you see this decimal point, this is called a decimal point. You see this decimal point, it is before whole number or after whole number? It is after whole number, right? 5.1, if this is your decimal, if this is your decimal number, if this is your whole number, this is your decimal point, right? So if this is your decimal point, I want you to know where exactly you write the decimal points. It is always after the whole number. Okay, that is right side to the whole number. 5.1. The decimals are always on the right side to the whole number. Okay, clear? Now, what if I have fractions like this? 5 by 10, 5 by 100, 5 by 1000, and so on with what? Multiple zeros. Okay, yeah, I told you for 5 by 10 the answer is 0.5. Why is it 0.5? I'll tell you. In denominator, what is the number we have here? 10, right? And in 10, how many zeros do we see? 1 0, right? The decimal which is on the right side to the number that gets shifted before the whole number, only one number, one digit. Okay, because since we have only 1 0 in the denominator, the decimal point shifts before one digit in the numerator. That is why it is 0.5. Okay, now 5 by 100. How many zeros do we have in denominator here? 2, right? So since we have 2 zeros, the decimal point which is on the right side to our whole number, that shifts before 2 numbers. So how many digits do we have in the numerator here? Just one, right? Which is 5. So you don't have to worry. The other number which you take here before the 5, that can be a 0. So your answer looks like this, 0.05. Understood? These are 2 digits now, 5 and 0. Before that, your decimal point is there. Now you guys tell me the answer for this. How many zeros do we have here? 3, right? So before how many numbers the decimal point shifts? That's right, 3 numbers including 5. What is our answer? 0.005. Good job, you're getting it. Okay, understood. Now let me give you an other example. What if I have a number like 28 by 10? What will be the answer for this? How many zeros do we have here? 1 0, right? So the decimal which is on the right side to the number, it only shifts before 1 digit, not 2. It's just 1 digit. You don't have to worry how many digits are there. Okay, all you have to concentrate on is that after how many digits the decimal points will shift based on your denominator. Okay, so after how many digits the decimal is shifting? Just 1, right? The first digit, which is 8. So the answer for this is 2.8. Good. So now one more example. What if I have a number 3.2 by 1000? Okay, now you guys tell me my decimal is in between 2 digits. Yeah, this 3 is a whole number and 2 is a decimal, because after decimal all the numbers, to the right hand side of the decimal, all the numbers which you see are decimal numbers. Okay, now we have 3.2. How many zeros do we have in the denominator? 3 zeros. Since it is 1000, in 1000 we have 3 zeros. So the decimal shifts before 3 numbers. Before decimal, how many numbers do we have? 1. So the other 2 numbers will be what? That's right, zeros. Okay, so how many zeros do we add? 2 zeros. The answer for this will be 0.0032. Is it right? Good job. Understood? Let me take another example. You guys tell me the answer for this now. 2.84 divided by 10. What is the denominator? 10, right? How many zeros do we have in our denominator here? Just 1 0. So the decimal point shifts before 1 digit. The answer will be, that's right, 0.284. Got it? Let's just look at our example problems. Okay, so we have a picture over here, right? So what does this picture represents? It's a rectangle shape and it is divided into how many parts? 10 parts. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. Okay, so out of those 10 parts, how many parts are shaded? 1 2 3 4. 4 parts are shaded. That gives us, we have done fractions. Okay, we have done similar problems like this. So this picture represents the fraction, right? So now you guys tell me, looking at the picture, what is the fraction for this? I told you the denominator is always the total number of parts and then the numerator is the shaded region. So how many shaded parts we have here? 1 2 3 4. Yeah, that is why it is 4 by 10 of the rectangle is shaded. Good. Now you need to understand the place values also in decimals. So the whole number's place value is different, and after decimal, the decimal number's place value is different. So yeah, I'll teach you that. The example which he has given with this picture, that is 4 by 10, and for 4 by 10, what is the answer? 0.4. Yeah, that's right. In the denominator we have 10 with 1 0. That means the point gets shifted before one number, one digit. That gives us 0.4. Yeah, so 0 has no units here because it is 0, right? And 0.4, it is in the tens place, and this is the decimal point. Okay, clear? 0.4 is the decimal form for the fraction 4 by 10. This point is called the decimal point. Yeah, it separates the whole numbers from the tenths. What is it doing? It is separating the whole numbers and tenths. Now write as decimals. What do we have here? These are mixed fractions, right? We did fractions, but I did not explain you what mixed fractions are. Okay, let me tell you how many types of fractions we have. Okay, yeah. So now, types of fractions. Do anyone know how many types of fractions we have? You do? Okay, tell me. First one is proper fraction. Second one is improper fraction. Third one is mixed fraction, right? Proper and improper fraction has a denominator and a numerator. That's it. Okay, for proper fraction we can take one example, like what number? 4 by 6. Okay, this is proper fraction. In proper fraction the denominator should be greater than the numerator. Okay, in improper fraction it can be 6 by 4. The denominator will be lesser than the numerator in improper fraction. Okay, in mixed fraction, fractions are written like this: 2 3 by 10 or 4 2 by 10. Understood? These kind of numbers, if you see, that means these are in mixed fraction. When you see a mixed fraction, first thing you need to do is convert them into a proper fraction, proper or improper fraction. Okay, so how do we convert that? It's simple. It goes like this. Okay, from denominator to numerator, and the process which goes from denominator to numerator is, first one, 10 times 2. You will multiply your denominator with 2 and then you add the answer which you get with 3. So 10 2s are 20. 20 plus 3 gives you what? 20 plus 3 is 23. So it is 23 by 10. For this, 4 2 by 10 is the same process again. Okay, 10 times 4 and then the answer which you get, that will be added with 2. 10 times 4 is 40. 40 plus 2 is 42. 42 by 10 is our answer. Now tell me, 23 by 10 can be written as, in decimal form, how do we write 23 by 10? That is, yes, exactly, that's right, 2.3. 2.3. And for 42 by 10 it is 4.2. Nice, you are getting good at this. So yeah, let's just do the example problems here. So in example problems here, it is written as, write as decimals. It is 2 3 by 10. Can you solve this? 10 2s are 20. 20 plus 3 is 23. 23 by 10. That is the one which we have done. Okay, so the answer for that we got 2.3. Yeah, the second one you can take it as a homework, 6 7 by 10. Now let's just start with our exercise problems. Okay, look here. What is it written? Write these fractions in decimal form. What is the first one? 3 by 10. Tell me the answer for this. I want to explain you this orally. Okay, 3 by 10, the value for 3 by 10 is, that's right, it is 0.3. Good job. Now 6 by 10, 0.6. Yeah, that's right. 9 by 10, 0.9. Now from here on all the problems are mixed fraction. Okay, for you I'll explain one of these problems. Which one should I explain you? I know you would be asking H, because this is the big number. Okay, fine, I'll take that. What is the question? 132 5 by 10, right? So 132 5 by 10. What did I tell you? When you solve a mixed fraction, first you need to multiply the denominator with this number and then add it with the numerator, right? So 132 times 10 gives us what? I explain you multiplication also. When you have a 0 in any of your numbers, when multiplying, you don't have to concentrate on 0. Before 0, the numbers what you have, you just need to concentrate on that. So multiply 132 times 1. It gives you 132 and add 0 to it. That gives you 1320. Got it? Now 1320 plus 5. You multiplied this, now you need to add this. Plus 5. That gives us 5231. Yeah, the answer is 1325. So how do we write that? 1325 by 10. In fractions, always remember that your denominator will not change. I mean, in mixed fraction, when you are converting your mixed fraction into a proper or improper fraction, the denominator what you have in your mixed fraction will be the same in the denominator of a normal fraction. Okay, there is no change in the denominator. The one which you are multiplying and adding, that all goes into the numerator but not in the denominator. Okay. Okay, so how to write 1325 by 10 in decimal form? In denominator, how many zeros do we have? 1 0, right? So the decimal which is on to the right, extreme right side of a whole number, that shifts just before one digit, right? So the answer for this is, tell me what? Good job. Yeah, 132.5. Clear? Understood? Okay. Yeah, now let us do the other bit, which is second bit. Write the part of each shape that is shaded first as a fraction, then as a decimal. Okay, we did shapes like this. Okay, all first thing you need to know is how many divisions this shape is divided into. Okay, how many? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. It is similar as the problems what we have done in our first session in fractions. Okay, so just try to understand how many parts this is divided into. It is 10 parts, right? And how many parts are shaded out of those 10 parts? How many? 1 2 3 4 5 6. 6 parts are shaded out of 10 parts. That's right. So your fraction for this picture would be what? 6 by 10. That's right. And you need to, what did he ask you in the question? First you need to convert this into a fraction and write that fraction in a decimal form. I'm not doing the same exact problem, but I'll do a similar problem. Okay, what if I have a box like this and it is divided this? Okay, how many parts are shaded? Let me take 3 parts are shaded. Okay, now you guys tell me total how many parts this box is divided into. How many rows do we have here? 1 2 3. How many columns do we have here? 1 2 3. So 3 3s are total of 9 boxes. The total goes into the denominator, right? So the total of 9 boxes. Out of those 9 boxes, how many boxes are shaded here? 1 2 3, right? The answer is 3 by 9. Good. For converting fractions into decimals, you need a denominator with tens, hundreds, thousands. Okay, let me change the example. I gave you the wrong example. For this diagram, yeah, this is the correct answer. Okay, now let me take a denominator with tens. Now I can okay, now tell me how many parts are there in this? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. So the denominator which is of total parts are 10, and I'm sharing 1 2 3 4 and 5. Okay, how many parts did I shade? 1 2 3 4 5. So out of all the 10 boxes, how many boxes are shaded now? 5. So that goes into the numerator. It is 5 by 10. So now we converted the picture in a fraction form. Now this fraction has to be converted into a decimal form. That's right. So 5 by 10 in decimal form. How do we write 5 by 10 in a decimal form? 10 has how many zeros? 1 0, right? The decimal which is on the right side to the number, when it shifts to the left side, what will be your answer? Good job, nice. 0.5. Clear? Understood? I hope so. Okay, now what is the next bit? Write in order of size smallest first. Okay, let us do number line in decimals. Okay, we know number line for normal numbers, but we never did number line for decimals. Okay, I am taking a length of 0 till 2. My midpoint would be 1. Yeah, that's right. 0 1 2. Okay, just tell me what is the midpoint of 0 and 1? That's right, it is 0.5. And what is the midpoint of 1 and 2? That is 1.5. Okay, now in between 0 and 0.5, how many divisions we have? 4, right? So this is 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 and then 0.5. Even here it goes the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here, what do we have? 0 0.6, 0 0.7, 0 0.8, 0 0.9, and then we have 1. Understood? And now here, from 1 till 1.5, how many divisions we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, and then this is 1.5, the midpoint. Then from 1.5 to 2, how many divisions we have? 1.6, 1.7, 1.8, 1.9, and then 2. Clear? Okay, now let us just look at our question. What is he asking? Write in order of size, smallest first. So which one is the smallest of all these decimal values? What are the options given? 0 0.3, 0 0.6, 0 0.2, 0 0.8. So first one is the 0 0.2 because it is at the beginning, and next is 0 0.3, next is what? 0 0.3, next is 0 0.6 and 0 0.8. All these decimal numbers are in between 0 and 1 only. Okay, we are not exceeding any numbers after 1, right? So now I want you to do B and C. Okay, it's same as A bit. You need to draw a number line. Just look at your numbers first. 0 0.9, 0 0.5, 1, 0. Okay, so you need to know what should be the length of your number line. Okay, next C, 2.1, 0 0.6, 0 0.9, 1.8. Even this is easy. All you need to do is draw a number line, proper number line, and indicate these points on your number line. Okay, next one, what number is 1 by 10 more than? Okay, so first you need to understand what is the decimal form of 1 by 10. What is the decimal form of 1 by 10? Isn't this easy? It is 0 0.1. That's it. Okay, now relate 0 0.1 with all the options given to you. Just check which number is less than or more than 1 by 10 and then write your answers for this. Okay, good. Now representing decimals on a number line. The same way what I explained you now. It is exactly the same. Okay. So exercise 1E, I think you can do this. First bit is what? He has drawn a number line for you, so you do not have to do anything here. So all you need to do is show these numbers on your number line. Where is 0 0.3, where is 1.3, where is 1.9. Okay, try to understand the number line first and then mark your answers on that. Next, write as decimals the letters marked on the number line. So we have some variables here, A, B, C, D. We have some variables here which are A, B, C, D, and they are pointing on different parts of a number line, right? So all you need to know is what number or what decimal comes here. Okay, the variables which are pointed on the number line, you need to write the values of those. Okay, that's it. Now what do we have next? Okay, so here he's asking us what is the temperature in degrees Celsius on these thermometers. Okay, what are the readings given here? 37 to 38. Yeah, and the reading is going somewhere till here and ending here, right before 2 points of 38. So what numbers or decimals comes in between 37 and 38? Yeah, that's right. 37.1, 37.2, 37.3, 37.4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 37.8 is where our reading is stopped. Okay, so your reading will be 37.8. The same way you need to do the next B bit. Okay, now what do we have here? 2 decimal places, right? Before we start 2 decimal places, I want you to explain the place values of decimals. Okay, first try to understand the place values of decimals, then it will be easy for you to understand even if it's 2 decimals, 3 decimals, or like more than that. Okay, now just take an example of 432.564. And one more thing you need to know is In decimals, you cannot say these numbers as 564. It is 564. Okay, you say them individually, not together. Okay, it is just 564. It cannot be 564. I think you understood my point, right? Now, this is the whole number, right? 432. Now, from, you know the place values of whole numbers? From where does it start? Ones. The next number is tens. And then the third number is hundreds. If you have a fourth number, let's just take 6. If you have a fourth number, then it will be thousands. And if you have a fifth number, it will be 10,000s, lakhs, like that, right? But in decimals, the first number will be called as tens. Second number will be hundreds. Third number will be thousands. Okay, so for tens, the way you show that, it is in the form of 1 by 10. For hundreds, it is 1 by 100. For thousands, it is 1 by 1000. If I ask you to write a fractional order for this, how do you do that? It's simple. All you need to do is just take your number 6432.564, right? So for 6, you write 6 plus 1000, because the value, the place value for 6 is 1000. And the next, plus 4 plus 100. Yeah, now plus 3 plus 10 plus 2. Okay, now for decimals, when you're doing decimals, it will be plus 5 by 10 plus 6 by 100 plus 4 by 1000. Why are we writing in the forms of 5 by 10, 6 by 100, 4 by thousands? It's because the decimal values, place values are tens, hundreds and thousands. Understood? That is why this is how you write. For whole numbers, this is the way you write. For decimal numbers, this is the way you write. Okay, now I think you'll understand two decimal places. Now look at this picture. There is a square box. Inside that there are 100 tiny boxes. It is because we have 10 rows and 10 columns, right? So 10 tens are 100. So this complete thing represents as one unit. That is nothing but one whole number. Okay, now then if you take out only one row or one column from this one unit, that will represent as 1 by 10th. Okay, that means 1 by 10th is nothing but it is going to decimal now. This is the whole number and this will be the part of first decimal place, which is 1 by 10. If you take out only one box of it out of this total, out of this complete row, if you just take out one little box, this box represents 1 by 100. Understood? Okay, good job. Now hundreds can be written a shorter way as decimals. So how do you write 1 by 100? I explained you this, right? 1 by 100 can be written as, since we have two zeros, the decimal point which is on the right side of a whole number that shifts before two numbers. Since we have only 1 as the numerator, we can add 0 before that. So the answer for 1 by 100 is 0.01. Clear? So that is what he is telling here. 1 by 100 equals 0.01. So since we have no units here, this 0 will be in the form of, this 0 is in the place of tens, but there is no number here, that is why it is no tens. But we have a number in the hundreds place value, so that is why it is 100th. What if this was 5? Then it would be 500th. Okay, and the middle point is nothing but the decimal point. Now look at the example problem here. What did he give us? He gave us two columns of 10 divisions and he gave us 5 individual tiny boxes. What does individual boxes represent? 1 by 100. And what does a full stretch of columns or rows represent? It is 1 by 10. Okay, let me just explain you properly this question. so that it will be very clear for you. Let me take a column which is divided into how many parts? 10, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Take one more. They are taken 2, right? They have taken 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Okay? So yeah, they have taken 2. So each column represents 1 by 10. And this represents 1 by 10. How many such columns we have here? 2. So we just add 1 by 10 plus 1 by 10, which gives us, in fractions when we are doing addition, we add the numerators, which is nothing but 1 plus 1 gives us 2 by, and if the denominators are same, we take common of that. We take common of that denominator. We just take one number because both of them are same. So you can just one common number, which is 10. The answer for 2 columns is 2 by 10. Understood? Now we have individual boxes 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So each box here represents 1 by 100. So how many such boxes we have here? 5 boxes. The total for this gives us 5 by 100. Understood? 1 by 100 plus 1 by 100 plus 1 by 100 plus 1 by 100 plus 1 by 100. Each 1 by 100 is for one single box. Okay, when you add all these 5 fractions, it gives you 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 5. And since all the denominators are same, we just take a common of 1. Okay, we just take common as 1. So it is 100. It is 5 by 100. So now just tell me the value for 5 by 100. That's right, it is 0.05. Yeah, and tell me the value for 2 by 10, which is this. 2 by 10 can be written as 0.2. Now add this and this. 0.2 plus 0.05. In decimals, you always need to remember is that when you are doing addition of decimals, these decimal points should align on one single line. Do not concentrate on the numbers what you have, but all you have to concentrate is on the decimals. If they are not aligning in one line, then your answer will be definitely wrong. Okay, so make sure your decimals are aligning in one proper line. Okay, so now tell me, this is 1 digit and these are 2 digits. If 2 doesn't have any number beside it, that means it's just a 0. So 0 plus 5 is 5. 2 plus 0 is 2. Point, and then 0, 0 is 0. So the answer for this picture is 0.25. Clear? Okay. So now look at this. 2 columns which represents 2 by 10. The answer for this is 0.2. And 5 individual boxes which represents 5 by 100, which gives you 0.05. Yeah, together when you add these total, that gives you 0.25. Okay, now let's just start with the exercise problem. What do we have here in exercise problems? He's saying use diagrams to show these decimals. Okay, how do you show this in terms of a decimal? 0.2, we just did that. 0.2 is for 2 columns. If it is 0.3, you just draw 3 columns of 10 divisions each. Yeah, we do not have any hundreds value here. So if there was a hundreds value, then you would draw these tiny boxes. Okay, if it is 7, you draw 7 boxes. If it's 8, you would have drew 8 boxes. Okay, since we do not have any hundreds place here, that is why we will only consider 0.2. Now tell me the answer for 0.07. What do you see here? Here we do not have tens value or the whole number. Okay, all you have is the hundreds value. For this, the answer would be, I'll just explain you that. Okay, 0.07. This is 0 and this is 0. So the only thing we have is the hundredth value. 100. Okay, how do you write 100? How do you show hundreds in the form of picture? It is just small tiny boxes which are of how many? 7. Okay, you will just draw 7 tiny boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. that gives you how many? 7 by 100, right? 7 by 100 will be written as 0.07. Okay, you don't have to do all this. All you have to, looking at the question, you need to represent that in the form of a picture. Okay, clear? Now I want you to take rest of the problems as homework. Okay, here you might be getting a doubt. It is 1.2, it is not 0. If it is 1.2, what does 1 indicate? I told you, this complete box represents 1 unit, right? So if it is saying 1 or 2 or 3 in the question, that means you draw 1 box or 2 complete boxes or 3 complete boxes, and then you concentrate on the decimals. Okay, understood? Clear? Now, what decimals do these pictures represent? So I'll just tell you the values orally. This one, how many rows do we have here? 3, right? 3 rows of 10 divisions each. So the value for the first one will be 1 by 10, second one 1 by 10, third one 1 by 10. Together it is how many? Together how many are there? 1, 2, 3. So that gives us 3 by 10. The answer for 3 by 10 is 0.3. Good job. The answer for this is 0.3. Now look at the B question. These are the individual boxes we see here. Individual boxes represents hundreds place value. That's right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The answer for this is, tell me, if it is 6 by 100, the answer for 6 by 100 is 0.06. Yeah? Now the next one, C. How many columns we have here? 2 columns of 10 divisions each. That is nothing but 2 by 10. Yeah, 2 by 10 value is 0.2. And how many individual boxes we have here? 6 individual boxes. So that gives us how much? 6 by 100. So the answer for 6 by 100 is 0.06. So the answer we get for the C bit is 0.26. Is this not right? Is it right? Okay. So this is how you need to do the problems when he has given you the pictures. It is easy. If he is giving you the decimals and asking you to represent in picture form, then you can do this. If you are clear with the concept, it will be very easy for you to show these decimals in the picture form, or to represent these pictures in a decimal form. Okay, so now what is D? It is a complete 1 unit and you have 2 columns of 10 divisions each, right? So 1 complete unit is nothing but 1 point. How many columns we have here? 2, which is 2 by 10. 2 by 10 value is, see how much 1 complete unit is, as 1 whole number, point. How many columns do we have here? 2, 1 and 2. That the value for these 2 columns is 2 by 10, right? 2 by 10 can be written as 0.2. Yeah, so that 0.2 will be, in place of 0 we have 1 here, so we do not change anything. 1.2 will be our answer. Understood? Okay, now we have 2 more questions. I want you to take this as homework. Okay, if you have any doubts guys, please feel free to ask me in the comment section. I'll be really happy to clear all your doubts. Okay, which is the larger number, 0.19 or 0.2? How can you write 0.19? As I told you, the decimals will be written in the form of 1 by 10s, 1 by hundreds, 1 by thousands, right? So since we have the first decimal value is 1, we'll just simply write 1 by 10. The next value is in hundreds place. That will give us 9 by 100. Yeah? So for 1 by 10, how do we represent 1 by 10 in a picture form? It is simple. 1 by 10 is what? Out of this complete unit, if you just take 1 row or 1 column, that gives you 1 by 10. Yeah, it is 1 by 10, and 9 by 100 will be represented in 9 tiny boxes, right? So this is 1 by 10 and this is 9 by 100. That's it. All you have to do is, if you are given a decimal form, you need to first split that, then it will be easy for you to understand. Okay, 0.19 can be written as 1 by 10 plus 9 by 100. Understood? Next, 0.2. How can you write 0.2 as? I told you how to write decimals. 2 by 10, right? That's it. Columns, how many rows they are talking about? How many rows or columns they are talking about? 2, right? So all you need to do is draw 2 columns or rows of 10 divisions each. Yeah, that is how you got 1 by 10 and 1 by 10. 1 by 10 plus 1 by 10 gives us 2 by 10. Clear? The rectangles show that 0.2 is larger. Understood? Which one is larger now? 0.2 is larger, not 0.19. Okay. So yeah, let's just solve the exercise 1G. He's asking which is larger, 0.4 or 0.39. How can you represent 0.4 and 0.39 in the picture form? It is easy. I'll do one for you. I'll do the first problem. Okay. 1A, 0.4 or 0.39. So how do we find out which one is larger? Just first take your first decimal, which is 0.4. How can you write 0.4 as? After decimal, the first place value is of tenths, right? So we write 0.4 as 4 by 10. When you split 4 by 10 in 4 parts, what do you get? 1 by 10, 1 by 10, 10 and 1 by 10. Okay, so I told you every 1 by 10 has one column of 10 parts divided, right? Because why is it 1 by 10? We have one column, and in that one column how many total parts are there? 10 parts. That is why this represents as 1 by 10. So how many such columns we have? This is 1, this is 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 such columns, right? Plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, right? So we have together 4 columns like that. So that is why it is 4 by 10. Each column will be represented as 1 by 10. Together it will be represented as 4 by 10. So the value for 4 by 10 will be what? This is same, 0.4. Clear? Understood? Now what is the next decimal we have? 0.39. Here we have 2 place values. Got it? So since we have 2 place values, the first place value is of tenths. First let's just do that. How many tenths we have here? 3. So 3 by 10 will be divided into 3 parts, which is 1 by 10, 1 by 10, 1 by 10. 1 by 10 is one complete column with 10 box divided. Yeah, plus one more, plus one more. And we have another decimal which is in the hundredths place, right? This is in the hundredths place. It is just individual boxes, right? The tiny individual boxes. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, so how many we have? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So this will be represented as what? 0.09, and this will be represented as 0.3. When you add 0.09 with 0.3, the resulting value will be 0.39, which is nothing but our question. Okay, now you tell me which one is greater, the full complete 4 columns or 3 complete columns plus 9 boxes. Which one is greater? Of course 0.4 is greater. Okay, that is how you need to solve B, C, D and E. Okay, I know you guys can solve this. I know you guys are smart. Okay, if you have any doubts, you know what to do. Now the second bit, write down 4 numbers that are bigger than 3 but less than 4. Okay, what is he asking us to do? We need to write 4 numbers which are bigger than 3 but less than 4. What numbers do we have in between 3 and 4? We have so many. What are they? Just tell me 4. 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4. Yeah, so how many do we have to write? 4 numbers. So this is enough. Now next one, bigger than 3.4 but less than 3.6. bigger than 3.4 but less than 3.6. You must be getting surprised that we only have 3.5 in between. No, we just don't have 3.5 in between. We have so many other numbers also in between. Okay, because in decimals we just do not have one decimal place value, right? We have 2, 3, 4. This is only tens. We also have hundreds, we also have thousands. Yeah, the list goes on. Okay, now 3.41, 3.42, 3.43, 3.51, 3.52, 3.53, right? We have so many numbers in between 3.4 and 3.6. It is on you which numbers you want to take. Okay, next, the C bit, bigger than 0.6 but less than 0.7. So what numbers do we have in between 0.6 and 0.7? That's right, 0.61, 0.62 till 0.69. After 0.69 comes 0.7, right? Good job. Now, okay, representing hundreds on a number line. So you guys tell me, how did we solve the second bit? Did we only concentrate on 1/10th decimal, or did we also consider hundredths decimal? We did, right? We did also consider hundredths decimal. In the same way, so now you need to represent hundreds on a number line. So how do we represent hundreds on a number line? That is very easy. Okay, just take decimal points. It is up to you which decimal points you want to take. 0.1 to 0.2. Okay, in between 0.1 to 0.2, what is the midpoint? 0.15. Yeah, now you guys tell me what numbers comes in between 0.1 and 0.15. It will be 0.11, 0.12, 0.13, 0.14, right? In between 0.15 to 0.2, 0.16, 0.17, 0.18, 0.19. That's it. Okay, you are representing hundreds on a number line. Understood? There is also tens. The next number is, this is hundreds. That is how you are representing hundreds on a number line. Okay, yeah. So let's just do the exercise problems here. Write down the positions of each of the letters on this number line. Okay, so we have different variables here, H, A, B, C, E, F, D, G. Okay, and you need to write the value where these variables are pointing. Okay, now let's just see what are the main points in a number line. 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, and then 1. Okay, so now in between 0 and 0.1 we have the middle point as 0.05. Okay, so before 0.05 comes 0.04, right? So we know now H is pointing at 0.04. The same way you need to find out what A is pointing to. It is simple. It is in the question. It is on the number line itself. It is 0.1. Now B. What is the mid value of 0.2 and 0.3? It is 0.25. Good job. So B is pointing at 0.25. Now what is C pointing at? The midpoint of 0.4 and 0.5. That is nothing but 0.45. Good job. Now E is pointing at a number which is not the midpoint but the number next to the midpoint. If it is 0.5 and 0.6, what is the midpoint of 0.5 and 0.6? 0.55. So after 0.55 comes 0.56. So this is 0.56, right? So I want you guys to figure out where F, D, G are pointing. Okay, I know you can do this. Okay, understand the number line clearly first, then it will be easy for you to know what numbers they are pointing to. Now copy this number line. This is a homework for you guys. Okay, copy this number line and you need to mark these decimal values on this number line. Okay, so now what are thousands? The same way what I explained you. Okay, when you have a decimal, just see 1 by 100 can be written as 0.001. We are done with tenths, hundreds, and now we have thousands. So for you to explain this in a simple way, let me tell you this clearly. Just understand this one, okay? You don't have to look into this and get confused, okay? It's just that is what he's trying to explain is, it's simple. What if you have a number 326 divided by 1000? Okay, what will be the value for this? How many zeros we have here? 3. So the decimal point will shift before 3 numbers. So the answer for this is 0.326. The same way, if you take a fraction as 1 by 1000, okay, for 1 by 1000, what will be the value? The decimal is on the right side of the whole number, so it has to shift before 3 numbers. Okay, so since we have only one digit in the numerator, we will add how many? 2 zeros before 1. Okay, so that gives us 0.001. So if you take 0.001, just take 0.001, what is this value? This is in units place, right? And that comes in a whole number. Okay, and we do not have any units here, so no units. For decimal place value, the first one is the tenths, but no tenths. Since we do not have any number, that is why it is no tenths. Now for hundreds, again it is 0, that is why it is no hundreds. Okay, for 1, which is in thousands place, it has 1. That is why we just write this decimal in the form of a fraction like 1 by 1000. Got it? If you have to write this in a fraction form, this is how you write it. Since the 3 digits what we see here do not have any numbers, that is why we just exclude them. The only value which we'll be getting is in the thousands place value, because we have a 1 there, so that is why it is 1 by 1000. Okay, it is just simple, guys. You need to understand 1 by 10th is nothing but 0.1. 1 by 100 is nothing but 0.01. 1 by 1000 is nothing but 0.001. Okay, yeah, we are done with decimals, and we are also done with decimals and place value. Since I did not explain you this part, but I try to cover decimals and its place value here. In our next session, I'll definitely try to finish decimals and place value and decimals and your calculator, because only for decimals it took a lot of time. Okay, I really wanted to explain you in depth so that you will not have any doubts in decimals. Chalo, then in our next session we'll try to finish decimals and place value and decimals and your calculator. Okay, kiddos, have a good day. Take care. Bye bye.